So ShineOn is basically a print-on-demand custom jewelry manufacturing company. We empower our customers that buy our products to become sellers, to become entrepreneurs. So we encourage them, give them the resources and tools to become successful, to build their own store.
As you can imagine, I mean, we wish customers were buying gifts all year round, but of course, we've got 5 major holidays where we really do have a crunch. Of course, some of those things like Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day, and then especially as we gear up towards the busiest season, which is the Christmas holiday. As you can imagine, for us, it's not economical to keep labor around full-time year round. Obviously, as we have our different hills and valleys throughout the business, we've relied on Veryable for that part to kind of fill the gap. So for our typical product, which is a pick product, it's a merchant shipping anywhere between 1 to 3 business days. So as you can imagine, we're promising by that 3rd business day that it's going to be at least in the postal service so that it's getting to the customer at this point. If it's a production product where we're actually something we're making, we do a 3 to 5 window on that. Now, again, the challenge with all of that is the order drops at midnight, let's say twice a day, every day. We're having the chance to adjust that labor volume based on the orders we see coming in the recent 12 hours. So depending on the timing of that, it can obviously help us forecast that staffing need as well to bring in additional labor to really help us get across that finish line to get it out of this as quick as possible.
And every hour counts. That trickles down. If we don't have someone there to fulfill the order, then the order takes longer to get out, and then the longer the order takes to get out, the less likely we're going to have a repeat customer. So all of that kind of has a chain effect. It was really easy to just be able to post something up and have people come in, and a lot of the times those people really enjoyed coming back. Once you meet that person, you make that connection, it's nice being able to okay, at least we know when we need somebody and they're available, they can just jump in and they already know what to do. That definitely came in handy, and actually it did come up a lot. And I think they enjoyed the flexibility of being able to pick up whenever they can. They don't have to worry about being on a set schedule all the time. And so it was a win-win for both parties. Having that resource was huge, and it's been a good experience with them so far.
Now, where we found the most benefit for using the Veryable service is the fact of having the ability to, number one, have the quick turnaround, but number two, really just have that functionality piece, just knowing that it's available for us. So for example, right now we have a full-time headcount that I keep at a lower end of scale, but the reason for that is because I have this in my back pocket to, if I have an extra ramp, I can do that. Because I can pull the overtime lever pretty easily, nobody wants to, but I can do that. But if it really just goes above a threshold that we feel uncomfortable, I just pull the Veryable app and away we go.
We really needed overtime. It kind of tells us that we need more labor. So that's kind of like a pinpoint to say, hey, we need more people, and maybe instead of 10, let's put in a demand for 15. Let's get those people in and see how that goes. And if there is no overtime, then we found our perfect spot for the amount of people.
I'm going to say ballpark maybe 350K for overtime for peak Q4 only last year. This year's overtime was approximately 30,000. So we're talking about almost a 300% savings in relationship to where we are, and really for the overtime lever alone, we've reduced that cost tremendously, which, don't get me wrong, I think there's certain times a year that people appreciate a little bit of overtime, but when folks are working a 16, a 20, a 24-hour overtime on top of a regular schedule, and that's consistent week after week, our bigger concerns are safety, getting them back and forth to work. Are they having enough rest between shifts? It's just the greater good, right? The neat thing for us as a business model, right, is that as our volume continues to increase, obviously the labor is going to increase, the sales are going to increase. It all kind of coincides, right? But what we found for us is that through the efficiencies of not only the labor pool, but more importantly, the opportunity to drive, I'll call it the better value, we've seen a decrease anywhere between 10 and 15% in relationship to our overall costs from last year when we've used, I'll call it multiple staffing agencies versus working with just a Veryable service to really help us control that cost. Now, the last thing I would chime into that too is also the quality of the workforce. So you guys, again, have done a great job for us to really bring back the quality of the workforce for people that not only A, want to be here, but B, have a work ethic of, when I'm here, I'm working, it's nose down, I get my stuff done, I get out of here. So that's really the work ethic we appreciate as well. Now, what's really good is that when we have a couple of Veryable folks coming in, day rate, doing a great job, and they're even passing up some of the rate of our full-time people. That's when I love it, right? Because then they're able to demonstrate that not only can the goal be met, but it can actually be exceeded by someone who's wanting to come in and make a good impression. They continually help us raise the bar. So we're about to launch a new product category actually next week. We're getting into acrylic. So that'll give us the ability to take a customer's print demand design, basically slap it onto acrylic, and then obviously ship it out within 3 to 5 days. As you can imagine, we're anticipating sales to go through the roof on that, but I haven't scaled up a bit yet. Got a couple more full-time just in case, but what we're going to rely on the fact of is using the variable service, right? To continue to, as we see something spike to, let's say, an additional 500 to 1,000 orders per day, or maybe even 1,500 orders per day. Now, our goal is fulfilling that with a temporary pool because we don't understand how that market works yet. And knowing that we have that flexibility to partner with Veryable as part of that process is what it's all about. We do have an advantage, I'll say, in relationship to our competitors because that we have this hidden gem in our back pocket.